Hello, everyone. I hope you're having a great day. And I'm really eager to talk to you about some of my favorite topics, and that is all about habit formation and mindfulness. But I wanted to share with you, first of all, do you even know what constitutes a behavior? And I mean any behavior from getting up in the morning, drinking your coffee, brushing your teeth, driving to work, picking your kids up from school, making your meals. Behaviors require certain elements. And a lot of times people don't even understand what behaviors actually are. So a few years ago, I was lucky enough to be in a class with BJ Fogg. There were 12 of us, and we met every single Friday for several hours, and we discussed habit formation and his theory. Well, it's actually a model, the BJ, the Fogg model of behavior. And it was quite an amazing experience for me because it really transformed my thinking on how we can actually be conductors or creators of our life and the things that we choose to do. So, first of all, let me explain what a behavior actually is, right? So, I think a lot of people would be hard pressed to actually describe a behavior. So, behavior is doing something, but there's, like I said, three elements that require or that are required to happen simultaneously in order for a behavior to occur. The first one is a prompt or a trigger. The next one is a motivation to do it. And the final one is the ability to do it. So let's break this down into an example. And I do a silly example because it gets your attention. It makes sense. So let's say that you need to go to the bathroom. Okay. So you are one, that's the behavior. We want to go to the bathroom. First of all, there's often a high motivation because your bladder is saying, either you find a bathroom or I will, do my thing. So there's that. There's the motivation to release the pressure that's occurring in the bladder. And if you've ever had a little child that tells you they need to go potty, you know you need to move quickly. So there's one, there's the motivation. Two, what's the trigger? It kind of goes back to that motivation, right? It's the bladder saying, hey, I need you. Or the little kid going, Mom, I got to go to the bathroom. And the final one is the ability. In most of the Western world, in developed nations, you have indoor plumbing, or if not, you got nature. So you always have the ability to go to the bathroom unless there's obviously some medical emergency and you're unable to actually urinate. But again, taking that back to just a funny example, you have the trigger or the prompt is the bladder saying, hey, you got to go. You're motivated to go. And then, of course, your motivation is to let the urine go so you don't have that uncomfortable feeling anymore. And you have the ability to do so. So that is the component of behavior. Now, the reason I wanted to speak to you about mindfulness and building happy and healthy habits is understanding that this triggers or a lot of our behaviors are habitual, right? So, how many times have you gotten in the car and driven somewhere and you honestly don't recall how you got there? You're just like, just putzing along and you pull up in your driveway and you're like, huh, I don't remember much of my drive, which is a concerning and scary thing at the same time. I guess it's the brain's way of just, dealing with things. But I wanted to speak to that because so many of our unhealthy habits are that same way. We finish the chips when we sit down to watch TV, we grab some unhealthy foods, or we drive through, fast food joint line on the way back home from work or something. That is a habit, right? Or we stressed out, we eat something that we don't want to, or we think things that we don't want to, because unhealthy thoughts are also an unhealthy habit. I'm diving into the whole mindfulness piece, consciousness. It's fascinating. So I will share more of that as I get deeper. But I really want to speak to you a little bit about that mindfulness approach because of the so many things that we do are mindless. So let's look and see how we can become more mindful and make our lives richer for it and make things that we want to do easier to do. Okay. So first of all, there's a 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 method, right? It's a grounding technique that can be used for a mindful practice. So it really focuses on sequentially on what you can see, feel, hear, smell, and taste. It's particularly effective for bringing your attention back to the present moment, right? So, which is really fundamental for mindfulness. If you're not in the present moment, you're not being mindful. And more importantly, it can be a powerful tool for forming the healthy habits and then breaking some of the unhealthy ones. So let's let's see what that 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 actually means. Okay, so anytime that you're feeling overwhelmed or stressed or anxious, this is all 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, what are 5 things that I can see in your current environment? It could be things on your body. It could be the trees, the light, the people around you. It could be anything. Okay, 5 things that you can see. Just notice them. Don't need to make it a judgment about them. You're not trying to say, oh, that red car is going too fast, or man, she shouldn't have worn that today, or man, this is really itchy. All you're saying is you're just noticing. You're zero judgment. You're just being mindful of what's occurring in your present moment right now. Okay. Number 4. Okay. 4 things that you can feel, right? So, want to concentrate on maybe 4 physical sensations you're experiencing, helping you kind of anchor yourself in the present moment. Maybe it's your feet on the ground. Maybe it's the jacket on your arms. Maybe it's your hairband in the back. Maybe it's you can feel your eyelids as you're blinking. Maybe you can feel a bark of a tree as you're walking by it, or maybe it's you're brushing your hair back over your ear. It could be anything. Just pick 4 things. So 5 things you can see, 4 things you can feel, and then 3 things you can hear. I think you're quite amazed when you go anywhere and you start listening for things. My husband just coughing, the refrigerator releasing ice into the ice maker, the buzzing of the air purifier, bird chirping, my dog snoring. Yeah, all of these things you can hear in your environment. And the really important thing is there's no judgment, that you're just noticing. That's all you're doing is just noticing. You don't want any other thoughts to come into mind. You're just noticing. Okay. And finally, the last 2 are 2 things you can smell. Now I want you to recognize 2 things. If there's nothing apparent, maybe seek out something. Maybe it's you can smell how fresh your jacket is. Maybe you need to wash it again. Maybe you see a flower, or maybe what? Oh, one of the things that I love to smell every morning is my Earl Grey tea bag. It's literally right here. um, and so, and so that just makes me happy. So those 2 things that you can smell. If you don't see anything directly in your environment, just go find something. Okay. Again, no judgment. Even though I know it smells good, I'm not trying to say, oh, it smells so good. I'm just like witnessing it. Okay. And finally, something you can taste. Now, maybe there is something, maybe there's a little bit of tea here you can taste, or maybe it's just noticing an aftertaste after I had some raw chickpea hummus, that flavor there. Or maybe you just brushed your teeth, something like that. Or maybe just noticing that you just kind of have the saliva in your mouth, and what does that taste like? So that's it. So it's 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay. And honestly, by the time you get through that practice, you are so anchored in the present moment. Hopefully we've broken the cycle of maybe there's negative thoughts or some habit or something that's occurring. But let's get into that a little bit. So what is this actually doing in the world of habits, right? So it's interrupting your automatic response. So many of our habits, like I mentioned, are particularly unhealthy ones, are automatic responses to emotional triggers. So by using the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 method, you can interrupt those automatic responses, really providing an opportunity to consciously choose a healthier alternative once you're grounded in the moment and take a moment to reflect on what's actually occurring. Because maybe that feeling, maybe the 4 things you're feeling is internal. Maybe you're feeling tight in your chest, or maybe your stomach is gurgling because you're hungry. Lots of different things that could be occurring here. Next, mindful eating. For example, if you're inclined to eat mindlessly or emotionally, you can use this method before a meal, and it can help you eat more mindfully. That allows you to savor every bite. Maybe you can use that meal as that last one, that desirable taste in your mouth. Again, try to be non-judgmental. Stress management, right? So stress often leads to unhealthy habits like smoking or excessive drinking. And the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 method can be a quick way to manage stress, reducing the impulse to kind of resort to those habits. And remember, worry can be an unhealthy habit. anger, responses like this. These are habits, right? So if you get a provoking email, you get a comment, someone cuts you off on the highway, what is your response? Be the being that's monitoring and looking at your emotional responses, right? Just what is that initial reaction that you're having? You can utilize the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 method. I could just say 5 to 1 method to really understand what's going on. You could do this for exercise motivation, right? You can really help you focus mentally and prepare for the activity ahead so that you're mindful and present when you start engaging in exercise. I think you'll find it more beneficial. You'll find it more rewarding and relaxing, whatever you're doing. Developing awareness, right? So this really helps you develop awareness of your internal and external states, which is really crucial for recognizing the cues and triggers of unhealthy habits, allowing you to kind of actively choose those healthier habits. And then, your really important one that I think so many of us struggle with is breaking the cycle of negative thoughts, because thoughts are not you, my friend. You are not your thoughts. You are a being above your thoughts, right? So I would recommend The Power of Now by Eckhart Tolle if you want to dive deeper into that. But this really will just help you break the cycle. If you're having unhealthy thoughts, pulling yourself out of the thoughts and getting into the present moment will really be very helpful. And then reflecting on your progress. Remember, I'm a big fan of journaling. You could take a journal and really look into how you can find ways to further your practice. And so that's it. The 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 method is, it's more than just a mindfulness technique. It's really a versatile tool that can really play a significant role in forming and maintaining those healthy habits while breaking the cycle of the unhealthy ones. And you just really want to foster greater awareness in the present moment, and makes you more conscious about a lot of different things. But again, there's some ideas for you. Hope you found that helpful. And just want to, again, highlight, we have the Healing Kitchen. If you're needing some help on learning how to make healthier choices around your diet, or if you have medical questions, or just want to learn more about how to be healthy, all about habit formation, all sorts of stuff, check us out. It's the Healing Kitchen with my partner, Brittany Giroudi, and we come together every single week live. We answer your medical questions. We give you 2 healthy, whole food, plant-based diet recipes. We have an expert workshop, like this Saturday is Brenda Davis. And then at the end of the month, I'm doing another workshop with an ebook on weight loss. And you have access to all the other ones we've done for the last 7-8 months. Again, all recorded. I've done workshops on osteoporosis with an ebook, what plant-based labs you should be getting, insulin resistance. So all of those things, and I'll continue to do those every single month, and it's free for the Healing Kitchen members. I'm also launching an Overcome Your Insulin Resistance and Lose Weight course starting probably in the next week or 2, and then another glucose mastermind next month, and those are very limited slots. Again, just a lot of fun. I provide a CGM. I can prescribe it to your pharmacy, whatever is local to you. And we do deep dives on what's going on with your glucose. So hope you find those helpful. Check it out. They're all at drmarbus.com. And if anything, if you want to sign up for our newsletter, I'm always trying to send out helpful, healthy things for you at the end of the day. So thanks, guys. Have a good rest of your day, and we'll see you next time.